Last week, Larchmont Mayor Lorraine Walsh gave her State of the Village address. Highlights include the completion of the first phase of the parking study and the success of the year-old composting program with the town of Mamaroneck. 600 households are now participants. Walsh also addressed concerns with the many vacancies downtown, including the recent closing of a popular deli by the train station and the closing of the Voracious Reader, a 12-year-old business.
Of course, a major focus of the board has and continues to be the vitality of Larchmont's downtown. Many people aren't aware that there are over 215 storefront businesses in Larchmont. In 2016, the vacancy rate was about 12%. It is now around 6%. This past year, we've had 7 ribbon cuttings for both new and expanding businesses, and there are an additional 5 anticipated openings coming in the next few months. This shows that businesses are eager to come to Larchmont, and they are succeeding here. There is certainly work still to be done, with a few highly visible and long-term vacancies in the Palmer-Chatsworth area. Additional outreach efforts to work with landlords will be undertaken. It should also be said that some properties are in very derelict condition and have not had any capital investment for decades. One such property is the row of shops on Chatsworth, including the former Food Basket. We are happy to announce that property has been purchased, and we anticipate the presentation of plans to completely rehabilitate the location soon.
On Tuesday night, the Mamaroneck School Board adopted the superintendent's proposed budget for 2019-2020. The budget is set at over $139 million, a 0.7% increase over last year. There is a 0.9% increase in the tax levy, which is less than allowed by the state tax cap. The budget calls for hiring a total of 11 staff to meet the district-wide enrollment increase, including a school psychologist, a bilingual social worker, and special education teachers. A public hearing on the 2019-2020 budget will be held on May 7th, and the community vote will be held on May 21st. State Senator Shelley Mayer stopped by the local life to give us a look at how the New York State budget impacts Westchester.
The next thing that was a hot topic, particularly here in Westchester County municipalities, was the potential axing of the aid and incentives for municipalities funding, which was about $60 million statewide.
Right.
So that looked like it was going to be axed, and then it was reinstated.
We restored it. So that was money that the state contributes to most towns and villages. We're taking cities out, they weren't cut, towns and villages. And many of them are very dependent, even if it's a modest amount from the state, particularly if they're trying to stay under the tax cap. So I was very opposed to the effort to reduce or eliminate it. In the end, through the internet sales tax, which is now applicable basically to all internet purchases, the state is going to pay the towns and villages the amount they're owed. So the way of paying the money will be different, but the amount will be the same. I happen to think we should pay more towards our towns and villages for their services, whether it's transit or DPW or police and fire.
They can pretty much use it however they'd like,
They can use it however they like, but they are already very tightly limited because they're trying to stay under the tax cap. So this is very important, and I was glad we were able to restore it. And most of the mayors and supervisors, really, this was their top priority.
Speaking of sales taxes, I believe it was Tuesday that the state legislature, the Senate and Assembly, had approved a bill that you supported.
Right.
That was increasing the sales tax cap in Westchester County by 1%, pretty much putting us in par with
many surrounding counties, and still less than the city of New York. And it would not have included the 4 largest cities in Westchester, which already pay a larger share of sales tax.
What would you say to people who feel it may be a regressive step, especially us living in the highest taxed county in the States?
Well, I think there's 2 things. One, the point of this, the county executive promised that if this goes through, he will not increase, 0 increase of the county's property tax for the next 2 years. So that is a huge thing and more important to most people than sales tax. I bet you don't know what the sales tax is here, because I don't know in the various municipalities. We're not picking where we shop generally by sales tax. The second thing is the cities with the largest proportion of low-income people, which is Yonkers, White Plains, New Rochelle, and Peekskill already have a higher sales tax. So this is bringing the rest of the county up to that. So yes, a sales tax is generally regressive, but this is a very modest increase that would really make it on par with our surrounding counties and would allow the county to really make it through a terrible situation they've been left by the prior county executive who didn't raise any county taxes for 7 years, which is unprecedented. And really, our county needs to operate, whether it's a jail, the hospital, all the things that a county does.
If you have any more lingering questions or concerns for Senator Shelley Mayer, she will be back on the Local Live on May 9th.
Yes, I look forward to it.
Thank you.
On Wednesday, the Westchester County Executive and Health Commissioner announced there are 8 confirmed cases of measles in the county. All are children aged 14 and below, and including 6 siblings. They are from around the Bedford and Mount Kisco areas and are not enrolled in public schools or programs. It is believed the children were exposed attending events in Brooklyn and Rockland County, where they are now up to 180 cases.
And at this time, we are actively reaching out to work with the communities that have been impacted by these cases. The good news is that measles is preventable. There is a highly effective vaccine that works, and it's been used time and time again to stop outbreaks. And the health department is able to provide the MMR vaccine to anyone who needs it free of charge. I really can't stress enough that vaccination is the key to stopping any measles outbreak. When people choose not to be vaccinated, measles return and outbreaks occur. There are also vulnerable populations that are unable to receive vaccine through no fault of their own, and they rely on herd immunity that routine vaccination provides to the population at large. This includes babies that are less than 1 year of age, and those who have certain immunocompromising conditions that put them at risk for contracting measles when vaccination rates in the general public dip.
Also, a New York City resident with measles visited 2 shops at Woodbury Common in Central Valley, New York on March 31st. Westchester County Health Department is offering free measles vaccines. Please visit the website on your screen now to reserve a spot.